Hi guys, how's it going? It's a horrible Monday morning here in my kitchen, and it's Monday, so I thought we'd look back at the betting from the weekend, the games at the weekend. How's it affected the betting? What interesting stats evolved through the football this weekend? We'll try and do this every Monday. So let's kick it off now. Interesting week in the Premier League, wasn't it? Manchester City cut Man United's league at the top to 5 points. City now 11-4 from 7-2 to win the title. Man United pushed out from 2-7 out to 4-11 for the title now. Man City beat Fulham, of course, 2 goals from David Silva in the game. That was the first time the wee man had scored more than 1 goal in a match since he scored 2 for Valencia against Athletic Bilbao back in October of 2010. Good weekend for Liverpool. It's not often we can say that, but a good weekend. They're now 10-1 from 12-1 to finish in the top 4. It's actually their biggest win. Of course, they beat Norwich 5-0. Their biggest win since they beat Birmingham with the same score back in April 2011. Hat-trick from Maxi Rodriguez that day, along with a goal from Dirk Kuyt and Joe Cole, all no longer at the club, of course. The relegation battle in the Premier League spicing up rather nicely. Reading, who looked doomed a couple of weeks ago, now 1-2 just to go down from 2-7. That was the first ever win against Newcastle, first ever points against Newcastle at Newcastle, I should add. The record at St James's Park before this weekend: played 7, lost 7. They destroyed that statistic, that's for sure. QPR remained 4-7 to go down to the Championship after their draw with West Ham. Loic Remy scoring on his debut, of course, his Premier League debut for QPR. He became the first QPR player to score the first ever Premier League goal on their debut since Danny Dicchio back in 1995, the bloke with the long ponytail you may recall from your youth, like my youth. That was back in 1995. Newcastle and Norwich, the big movers in the relegation market. Newcastle 92, they were 92, now 72. Norwich 8-1 from 10-1 to go down to the Championship. And just another stat that caught my eye: Sunderland, of course, they beat Wigan 3-2. It's the first time they've scored 3 or more goals in consecutive Premier League matches since December 2008, when they beat West Brom 4-0 and Hull 4-1. Sunderland up in 11th place in the table, which is astonishing. You think it's been such a below par season for them. You actually thought they could finish in the top 6 this season. It made me look foolish. But at the moment, the things are looking up at the moment, up to 11th place. Let's talk about the Championship. And Cardiff now 10 points clear at the top of the second tier. The 4-7 to win the league. Leicester 4-1. Hull at 11s. And Watford, the movers, at 20-1. Fourth favourites now, Gianfranco Zolla's side. In terms of the stats at the Championship, well, historical stats, one side having a long historical dominance against another side. Those stats continued this weekend. Birmingham got a draw against Brighton. Brighton 0-9 now against Birmingham. The last time Brighton beat Birmingham, we have to go way back to April 1989, a long time ago. The same weekend, it was the second weekend in April, the same weekend that Notts Forest beat Luton in the Littlewoods Cup final. Nick Faldo won the US Masters and little Paul Vera won the Grand National. That's how long ago it was since Brighton beat Birmingham. Leeds beat Bristol City for the 6th consecutive time. No win for Bristol City over Leeds since September 1997. And no clean sheet for Bristol City in 27 games now. You have to flip it right back to April last year, the last time they kept a clean sheet. I was against Charlton. They're 1-4 to go down, and they're 7 points from safety. And then the last one for me, a really surprising stat. It's a breathtaking stat actually. Sheffield Wednesday 0-0 with Wolves. Sheffield Wednesday, an appalling record at home to Wolves at Hillsborough. No win in 13 games now at home against the Midland side. If they go way back to 1964, people, September 64, the last time Sheffield Wednesday beat Wolves at Hillsborough. Herman's Hermits were at number 1 that particular day with the track I'm Into Something Good, long time ago. League One, Doncaster remain favourites at 4-1 best price. They're joint leaders with Tranmere and 56 points. Tranmere 6-1. In between those sides, you've got Swindon at 92 and Brentford at 11-2. Not much in the stats. Coventry beating Oldham 2-1, but again, Coventry conceding in the last 15 minutes of that game. That's the 12th goal they've conceded in the last 15 minutes. That's a nasty habit for the Sky Blues. And Walsall 3-1 winners over Bournemouth. First defeat in 16 in the league for Bournemouth. Of course, they lost a long unbeaten run under Eddie Howe's second spell in the Cup against Wigan midweek, and they lost again at the weekend to Walsall. Is this the start of a bad run for the South Coast club? We'll find out, won't we? League 2, Gillingham 7-5 to win the league, Port Vale 74 and Rotherham 9-1. Just 2 games in League 2. One that caught my eye, Northampton beating Burton 1-0. No away win in 11 now for Burton Albion. Bear that in mind if you're backing them. And in Scotland, a couple for me for Scotland. Kilmarnock lost 3-2 to Dundee United, which was a shame. I think they were unbeaten in 5, going for another win this weekend. It didn't happen. They got beat 3-2 by Dundee United, but it was the 17th consecutive game that Rugby Park Club had scored a goal. That's better than any other side in the SPL. They're 50-1 to finish second in the SPL this season. They're currently 9 points behind joint second place Motherwell and Inverness Caledonian Thistle. And my own team getting the stats this week. Queen of the South beat Forfar 3-1. That was the seventh win in a row for Queen of the South. First time we've done that since January of 1970. You fancy Queens for Division 2 in Scotland? Best price 1 to 200. Yeah, no joke. That's what, because they're 19 points clear at the top of the table. An extraordinary season for the Dumfries side. And as a Dumfries man through and through, I'm absolutely delighted. That's it for this week's betting and stats roundup. The boys are back at the end of the week with their tips for the weekend. See you later.